Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So today is the piece and quilt. We're going to do that first. So we're going to do the piece and quilt first, and the blocks for the month, because this is a block a month from the book. It's a book that has a whole bunch of different quilts in it, and each block is multiple sizes so that you can mix and match and do different things. And then there's a couple of different samplers that came with it. This is from my friends Susan Aki and Lisa Alexander. And so we are doing there's all kinds of things in this book. There's one with all hearts. And we are doing this. There's a couple of samplers. Here's a different sampler. This isn't the one that we're doing, but it is one of the other samplers in there. I know a couple of you are doing that one, and we're doing the one on the front. And so there are two blocks, and I'm sewing with Jelly and Jam by Fig Tree. There's the 8-pointed star and the wagon tracks. And so here are the blocks, one set of them. So you have to make more than one set, and I'm going to show you what the deal is on that in a second. So you've got the, what did I say they were called? Yeah, the 8-pointed stars, and then this is the wagon track right here, just this one block. But on our first week, we are using two of them that you're going to make. So let's go to the computer, and I can show you on the diagram where things go. Here is the quilt, and you can see here are the stars. So you're doing these 8-pointed stars. You're doing 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the wagon wheels is actually this block here, just that corner. So you have 2 in this row plus 2 squares. And so this is the row that we can put together. But you also then have these down on the very last row, and there are 4 of them. So 6 altogether, 2 here and 4 down here, and that's how they're spread out. So this week I'll be able to sew this row. If you keep working on your stars and your wagon wheels, you'll have them as you get to the next rows where they show up. So like this whole row here, they won't show up, but when you get to this 3rd row, there they are again, and the 4th, that kind of thing. So that's how you can plan it. And so the sheet that you could download, you could take this and you could maybe highlight the ones you've already done, particularly since the blocks this week, or this month, I'm sorry, I keep saying week. This month, you have to do multiple. So maybe you say, okay, I've done the ones for row 1. Now, as you do other ones, you can mark them off on here so that you know that you've finished them and you've done them all. So you can use these worksheets that came with the quilt along. Okay, so where do they go? Where do they go? The squares are the same size as the block, and so that's the deal on these. These squares are the same size as the block, which are 6 inches, and because we are doing 6-inch blocks for this month. So the stars are coming up here, 1, 2, and on my website today I will have a photo straight on so that you can see this, and then these guys go over here. So there you go. There you go. And I'll have to sew those together, but I wanted you to see the blocks separate. Okay, so, nice. And then I can sew this entire row, and it's done. And next month, we will be on 2 blocks for starting row number 2. And that row number 2 is a bit wider. So it's like, you can see that great big block there. So it's the width of that one. So it's a little bit wider. Oh, I've dropped stuff already. Okay, so we have a lot of other fun things. If you have not ordered your United We Quilt t-shirt, be sure you do that. And Kate has some options for some of the merchandise to have just the flags and not the words, so that if you want to get this for somebody who doesn't quilt as a gift, maybe for your family members or a buddy that doesn't quilt, you can get it without the words. So that's pretty cool. Our scavenger hunt for this month is brought to us by our ambassador, Melissa. She came up with the topic. And so what you want to do for the scavenger hunt is you want to find and show us something at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan that is sewing related as a decor, like a sewing decor item. Maybe you have a clock that's got sewing stuff on it, or you have a giant button on your wall, maybe a lamp or something like that that's sewing related. Years ago, there were giant scissors, and I believe they were like from the Pottery Barn. So of course, you know, if they were from the Pottery Barn, they were like, I don't know, like $100 or something for these giant decorative scissors. And I didn't buy them, but I always wanted a pair of giant decorative scissors. And I should look around. Maybe I'll find some. I never really did look again, but they were just so cool because, you know, I have a thing for scissors. So we can't wait to see what you have. This is also the week of making. So if you have not actually quilted in a while, stop and give yourself time every single day to do a little bit of quilting, because I know things get away from us. They get going and life happens, and all of a sudden it's been weeks and you may have not sewn. So this is the week of making. Be sure that you sew. Try to sew every day, just a little, 10 minutes. Give yourself 10 minutes to sew. It is also today Learning Disability Awareness Day, and I think it's really important. I think people learn differently. I don't know much about disabilities and things like that. I don't, but my brothers are both very dyslexic, and I can remember trying to help my brother Mike when I was a kid, trying to help him just to learn his alphabets and write his letters. And back then nobody knew what dyslexia was. So we didn't know why he was having so much trouble, but I can just remember it. And I know that I have a lot of things that I reverse, and I'm sure that that's all what that is as well. And so there are many ways people have to learn and be aware of for themselves and make things happen. So today we want to celebrate everybody who has to work through those kind of things. And you make it happen. Okay, what else do I have here? The Confidence Stitch. My buddies, the Confidence Stitch in Missoula, Montana. They are running their fat quarter sale, and you can order them by color. Here's some color bundles. You order them by color and you get, what are we doing? We're doing 10 fat quarters for $20. 10 fat quarters for $20 from the Confidence Stitch, and they do these great bundles. Their fabrics are mostly modern, vibrant colors, more modern fabrics, vibrant colors. So you can look through their website and you can see the style, and they give you a what might be in the bundle, or you know, that style that would be in the bundle. So you'll just know that if that's the type of fabric that you love, they have a great eye for color, a great eye for fabrics, and so it's a lot of fun. I know many of you have ordered these bundles and really enjoy the selection that you get. It's a great way to get some new fabrics that you haven't maybe seen before even. Now stay to the end. Right at the end, I'm going to take you through a little video tour of my front garden, which is looking so spectacular this year. So we're going to take a look at that. But before, Debbie in Virginia sent me a really sweet item. Super cute quilting card. And she said she was out shopping and saw this. Such a cute mushroom tea towel. Look at that. They are so darling. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you for thinking of me when you're out and about. Okay, Liberty Box. They are shipping. I'm not showing you the inside yet because they are a mystery box and I don't want to spoil the mystery, but they are awesome, and you can order one now. So if you did not pre-order, they are now available for regular ordering to ship when you buy it. So the link is in the description box below. Be sure you get in on these. They are always amazing. They are so much fun. They don't take a lot of time, and this one is super good. As of right now, when I was videotaping this, all the finishing kits had already sold out. But you know, you can obviously make it without the finishing kit, and then you can get something that works or order something after you see what's inside. So you do want to get that. Okay, we are going to talk binding. My binding challenge, right? My binding challenge. So first of all, I got both the bindings done. I did. So first let me show you the butterfly. And did I show you that I had the binding done? I don't know. I may have showed you that, but I still had to do the hanging sleeve. And I'm right now working on the hanging sleeve. So I don't know. Did I show you this the other day? Well, we're going to see it again real quick. So here it is. I've got a needle here in the back where I'm got half of the hanging sleeve left to do. So there's the butterfly. So pretty. I think I did show you because I had the blue, right? Hey, you know, you can't look at too many finishes, right? We got to celebrate those finishes. Maybe just put that over there. I have the barn star done. Done. And while I was putting this binding on, I did do a couple of little clips. It is not a full binding tutorial. There are zillions of binding tutorials on the internet. It's just a few little clips of different parts of what I do when I do mine by machine. It's all by machine. So let's go. I'm starting this binding at 5 p.m. and it is the queen size barn star. So what I thought I'd show you is, because I always talk about single binding, I don't do double binding usually. It's just a habit. I did it right from the beginning of learning to quilt. I don't know why or where it came from, and it's also mostly straight of grain. So it is a strip. I cut it 1.5 inches wide. I eyeball a 1/4 inch over so that when I flip it to the other side to top stitch it, it's already turned under. And I sew with my open toe walking foot. My open toe regular foot. I do not have a walking foot. This is a regular foot, no walking foot. And I'm just sewing this on at this side. And then when I get to the corner, of course I will turn. I have this thing. I rolled this wrong. Normally I pull this from the outer edge, but I rolled it wrong way back when I did it. So I'm having to pull from this center, and it just sits here. There's lots of different things you can do to keep this tidy, but this just works for me. Although it works better for me when I'm on the outside, but it's the wrong direction. So I don't know what I was doing. I'm not unrolling it either. I'm just going to deal with it this time. So when I will go to the front side, and I have a whole tutorial on my website about this, but when I go to the front, I'll just be rolling it over and top stitching it. So you see, I will just go to the front and take it and top stitch it. Now if your corners, I am not a good miter corner person. I would say I get 3 out of the 4 pretty good. So let me come down here. What I'm going to do is sew, here's the corner, right? I'm going to sew within a 1/4 inch of the corner, and I just eyeball that. And then I rotate so that I can sew right out to the corner. So see how I did that? I just sew right out to the corner. And then I will flip it up. You rotate here, and then I will flip this up here and then back down nice and tidy. And then I start right from the outer edge sewing again. So that's how I do that. The binding was getting way too twisted, so I just dumped it on the floor, untwisted it. It doesn't work that well for me coming from the center, taking it out from the center. So now, it's a bit of a pile, but it'll be okay because there's a little bit less. I'm like halfway through, and what is it? Oh, 20 after. Whoops, 20 after. Okay. Not bad. And I've even stopped to show you things. So let me just get the first round all the way done. I'm on the front side now. So here's the back and here's the front. And so what I'm doing is taking this piece and just rolling it over and top stitching it so that it's sewn down. So that's all I'm doing. There we go. That's it. So that took me an hour and 45 minutes to do this queen size binding by machine, where all I had to do was sit down and sew the binding to the back, then flip it to the front and sew it to the front. So the binding was made, the quilt was trimmed, everything was ready to go. So that gives me, I like to know how long things take. Anybody else like to know how long things take? Yeah, it is a deal. Okay. I am just going to hold it up, part of it, because it's a queen size quilt, and there's just no way you know, maybe I'll stick it on the clothesline tomorrow or something, or put it out in the living room, something. But just for right now, I just want to hold up part of it so that you can see. I went with the gingham, and this is a little smaller gingham for the binding than what I did in the quilt. So it is not the same print. The quilt is a bigger gingham. I have this fabric, is the whole backing is this fabric. I didn't piece this, but I didn't have any other fabrics, which, you know, for me, I don't always do that, but I did with this one. So here's the gingham, and it is a little smaller gingham than in the quilt. Is there a block? Like, okay, here you go. So you can see the difference. So here's the gingham used in the blocks, which I could have used, but I think because this is thinner piece that you see, that for me, it just made sense to do that. So there you go. And yeah, so, and the quilting is a geometric, it's a geometric print that's, you know, maybe you can see part of it. I'll have to do something where I, you know, open this all up and we take a look at it. Even like hanging it in here, it on my rack, it's too wide, too long. I don't know, maybe I'll do that anyways, so you can see part of it. Okay, so I just got to push this here for a second. All right, the rest of the binding, the other pieces on the shelf. Okay, so I'm on a mission by the end of August to finish those nine quilts. So the bindings are in here, but I don't know the status of what has a binding and doesn't have a binding that's on the shelf. So let's go over the shelf and take a look. Before I go ahead and look at the bindings, I want to see how many are actually here so I know what I'm looking for. 1, 2, that's the one that I don't have binding, and I know that. And I may not do it, I don't know. That's that, you know, fabric that I showed you the other day. I took the hand stitching out of. So we're going to count the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9, and there's a few at the spa and a few ready to go to the spa. But we're just going to deal in this 9 because these are the older ones that I need to see if I have binding. These 3 are newer quilts, so we don't need to worry about them. And this bag right here is extra. I decided to keep it. I'll keep it for a while, see if I actually find a use for it. There's actually one quilt in that pile that it might work for. So this grouping, I don't care about. So of the 9, I have 7 in here. They don't all have binding actually cut. So like here, there's the fabric, but nothing cut. So that means there's 2, and I believe the 2 are this one here, which I only recently had quilted, and this was an Aurifil block of the month. And I believe the other one is probably this one here, which was just kind of a camping quilt, although I have camping quilt written on there. Or maybe it's the mermaid one. I think it's one of these 2. This is mermaid fabric. There's fabric in here that has mermaids on it by Heather Ross. I think it's one of these 2 that I don't. So that's pretty dang good, except that not all the binding is actually made, but that's not bad. Okay, so I know what I've got. I know what I'm dealing with, and yeah, that's good. That's super good. So that's documented. The list is in here. And now I'm going to take the very next quilt in the top, the one next on the top, because most of them are the same size except for the 3 smaller ones. And that is Will You Be My Neighbor, done in Christmas fabrics. And I can't tell you how long ago I finished that. 2019 maybe I had it quilted, I don't know. So it finally will get binding on it. All right, let's go outside, take a look at my front yard. So my lavender is gigantic. She is gigantic. Look how big she is. This is crazy. I think this is the 3rd year. So she loves this area. I've actually bought 2 more. We'll see if they like their new spots. They're at the other end here. So this is looking so pretty. And I've got some of this fairy dust, which I don't know, I might have to move it up. But there's like a lot of little baby daffodils in there. So if I move it, it has to come up here somewhere. So, and over this side of the patio, or the front porch rather, more petunias. There's super petunias. from Proven Winners, these pinks that are the bubblegum pink, and they seem to do well, and the deer don't eat them, which is nice. So this is just all like crazy good this year. Now this stuff, whatever this is, will start to die down, and so I'll have to chop it because it will look really scraggy. We have a butterfly bush that I trimmed way back because it wasn't doing that well, and it's coming back really pretty, and a volunteer butterfly bush. Here, I'll move my hand, that thing. So it is, yeah, it should not live there, but we're gonna let it live there this summer and then move it. So this is, where'd I put them? There's the other lavender, like the one on the end, and then I bought one for here. So I've got some daffodils I need to trim back. And then around the corner, there is the gorgeousness of my hydrangea. I think this is the 4th year now. So it is just amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's in the shade. You get to see how it looks. Just loving it this year. It's so pretty. I hope you had fun seeing that. It is I love my front this year. You know, like some years it took a while, but some of that stuff keeps coming back, and it's just been so beautiful. Remember, I have my Facebook group now called Fireside Chat with Pat Sloan, so that you can come over and talk about your gardening, your cooking, your other crafts that you make, other things that you sew that are not quilts. So come and join me over there in that Facebook group. We are having a lot of fun. There is just so much fun, creative, different things to chat about. And you can show me your gardens. Yeah, it's been a lot of gardening stuff because it's that time of year. Okay, Piece and Quilt. If you are sewing along, share your blocks. You don't have to wait till you've sewn all of them. Sew like one of each and just show it. You know, show your progress, because it's on a monthly one where there's multiple, you know, several blocks that you have to make for the month. You know, it keeps us motivated to share with others. Say, hey, you know, I got the ones for the first row done. Yay! And everybody will cheer you on. It is so amazing. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.